As the prophet of esports, I rely on trustworthy and meaningful data every day. Data from our research partner YouGov offers the most complete view of esports fans and gamers in the world, providing context to who they are, what they think, the brands they buy, and things they do. YouGov's connected insights and research services inform strategy at every level. If you're a team, a brand, agency, or rights holder, you should be talking with YouGov. Their partners measure and maximize ROI and are telling compelling stories with data. Visit yougov.com/gaming-esports to learn more.
Well, I see two comments here that, let me just read some of these. Stuart says this is about content. No chance they wouldn't cut the revenue. I think I agree. It's obviously definitely about the games, right? It's about content. I want to have this discussion around, is it all about Game Pass? Because I think that's definitely one of those, one of the best reasons to argue for this acquisition. Antonio says $70 billion was a great price, a drop in the bucket for Microsoft. I don't know if $70 billion is ever a drop in the bucket. Just to be, for full information, Microsoft was sitting on about $130 billion of cash reserves. So, they needed, I guess they were looking to do something with this, to spend more than half of it on one acquisition. I think, I don't know if we can call it a drop in the bucket, but it's, they definitely had the cash lying around for it. Jimmy, you have a thought here?
I just think, it's a good point, but it's to me, it's less about the ability to pay for it and more about the value of what they got for it. William is famous for equating everything to like how many Star Wars is this and bringing things into Disney terms. And, I just, it probably
is
grinds
this 17
Lindsay's
Star Wars.
It's a lot of Star Wars.
Is
a
this
lot
worth
of Star Wars.
17 Star Wars?
I personally don't think so.
In that context, did they overpay?
The funniest part is he uses Star Wars, but Marvel was the same price and would be like a 20 times better example because Marvel is definitely worth
17
10 times.
Marvels.
No. But Marvel is not worth what Disney paid for. Marvel is probably worth 50 Marvels.
Yeah, and it's probably the only time we're giving Bobby credit on this show is got a great price, I think, for what they had.
Well, no, I think in the context of saying, is it worth 17 Marvels? Microsoft overpaid. But then you see sort of Greg's point here is shares were trading above 96 months ago before Bobby's latest problems. You could make the argument that they got out at a time when the stock was at its most depressed, right? And while they did get a 45% premium, right, they got $95 a share. Could they have got $125 or $110 when they were sitting at 90?
Well, we've also criticized that stock price and their recent strategies about short-term sales and profits against the long-term success of the business, particularly with COD, with the COD League buy-in fees, right? I thought we had really picked that apart in the past that, the stock looks great now and COD League, COD Mobile, et cetera, all doing well. But, what's the long-term play here? It's eventually not sustainable.
But I think this is the genius of Bobby in this, right? And I'm going to make a point that I could also sort of poke holes in because I think the rumor is that Bobby didn't want the deal, right? That the board basically decided that this was the right deal, and he didn't have enough power essentially over the board to do anything different there. But if this was his doing, it's genius, right? Because you get he's grown the business significantly. He's benefited from that obviously personally in a huge way, but he's mortgaged the future of the business because let's face it, today Activision Blizzard is not in the business of making games. They're really not in any business today. And he's mortgaged the future of the business, but then he sells before that future arrives. If I'm going to give him any credit, it's pretty brilliant, right? Like, talk about good timing. And if we say timing is important in business, this could go down as maybe some of the best timing ever. Jeff, you're looking at me like I know you're the Bobby apologist here.
No, I think you make a good point. One thing I think Clifford actually makes a good point here, and this is something I was going to mention. So much of the value in Activision Blizzard right now is in kind of the longer term pipeline, particularly on the Blizzard side. I'm really interested to see, given this deal is not going to close for kind of at least almost a year. How does the talent exodus we've seen from Blizzard and Activision, does that accelerate? Or do a lot of the developers there say, hey, okay, there's a light at the end of the tunnel. We're excited about Microsoft. Like, how do those games come out of the oven? You know what I mean? Because there was a lot of issues on the Blizzard side already. I could easily paint a picture where things actually get worse because you're in limbo. You know, like Microsoft's going to have a lot of wood to chop. And I don't even know how you do this in an acquisition that clearly it's not closing for a year. So I don't know how much Microsoft can do in terms of incentivizing people to stay and stuff like that. It's going to be very interesting to watch when you have a transition like this, dealing with an acquisition, just from a people perspective. Like, are those developers incentivized to stay? Or we know there's a ton of money sloshing around the system. There's a lot of other publishers, developers looking to hire. There's blockchain gaming, which is massive right now. You could see even more of an exodus, which to Clifford's point, or sort of what he was alluding to, that makes this acquisition even more troubling if a lot of the values in that longer term pipeline that may not actually come and won't come very well.